the media about this. Indiana Fever could try to do all the PR stuff that they want to do to try to cover this up. But at the end of the day, ain't no covering this up. Y'all hella lying. So this was an incident that happened at the game. Caitlin Clark and her coach hate each other. Right? Brick Center captured this moment right here, right? Now, I'm finna play this moment for y'all.
The Indiana Fever just hit an irreversible breaking point, and the explosive fallout behind closed doors is shaking the entire basketball world. What started as questionable play calling and deliberate freeze-outs has erupted into a full-scale internal war, with reports exposing a ruthless attempt to sideline Caitlin Clark and protect coaching egos at all costs. But pushing a generational superstar too far backfired immediately. Clark delivered an authoritative response that completely shifted the power dynamic, while Breanna Stewart went on national television to expose the entire tactical meltdown. From the unwatchable disaster against the Dallas Wings to outright locker room chaos, this is no longer just a losing streak. It is the total unraveling of a franchise under immense pressure. Smash that subscribe button right now, because while mainstream outlets look away, we are breaking down every raw, unfiltered detail of this league-wide crisis.
Wow, this is not a basketball. Really ain't a contact sport like football and many other sports are. But for her to be going into these basketball games with clean arms, clean shoulders, and then come out looking the way she looked is diabolical, bro. It's just diabolical, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. And I don't know, man. We just got to keep Caitlin lifted up in prayers. But we have to talk about the drama that took place in this basketball game today. It's so much. It's so much, guys. Hold on. Let me get this switched over for you guys, because it's just so much drama. I don't even know where to start. Oh, this is DJ Carrington trolling Caitlin Clark. Let's just start here.
She brings a defensive mentality.
Look at her. And she got a tech today. Look, another one. 7-3 made for Caitlin Clark. She was busting DJ.
Clark goes for 30 and does.
Busting her ass all night. This is the face here. This is a face of the feet. Look at her. Salty. Pick your face up, DJ Carrington. I think you left your mascara on the floor, too. Watch this.
Creating an advantage here. You got
Fans packed the arena expecting high-octane magic, but they were subjected to a sluggish, outdated offensive disaster that took the ball entirely out of Caitlin Clark's hands while refusing to counter relentless double teams. The resulting blowout ignited fierce boos across the stadium and set social media ablaze with immediate demands for coaching changes. Backed into a corner and facing intense national criticism, the coaching staff allegedly attempted an aggressive internal scapegoat play, confronting management behind closed doors to demand a disciplinary suspension against Clark for insubordination. But attempting to silence the league's biggest draw backfired instantaneously. Front office panic collided with massive league-wide outrage, completely dismantling the narrative and turning this tactical failure into an uncontrollable franchise crisis.
I think it's very clear you're on the other side of the line in the sand. You seem to be on the Kelsey Mitchell, Stephanie White line. And this is not to come at Kelsey Mitchell. I hope she has a big game. Her and Caitlin Clark been playing awesome together. This is not to come at Kelsey Mitchell. But the fact that you did not want to include Caitlin Clark in the MVP talks, Aaliyah Boston, is disgusting. And your ass better start making layups and give us $6 million worth. Now we going to be on you. Stephanie White, you already liable to get booed. I don't know what you're going to do. Okay. If they boo you, you're going to have to deal with it. Look in the mirror. You did not stand up for your team or your players. Now, let's get into this Indiana Fever Dallas Wings matchup. What is going to be the number one key for the Indiana Fever? First of all, the Dallas Wings are a team that's reeling. They just won a game. They've lost 6 out of their last 9 games. 6 out of their last 9 games were L's. And it needs to be
That is when the unthinkable occurred. Multi-time champion Breanna Stewart stepped directly into the firestorm, breaking her usual silence to decisively shatter the coaching staff's credibility on a global stage. Stewart minced no words, publicly condemning the alleged disciplinary threats as pure ego-driven failure and an outright disgrace to basketball, instantly validating weeks of fan outrage with undisputed veteran authority. Her explosive remarks delivered a fatal blow to any attempt to silence Caitlin Clark, triggering complete panic inside front office headquarters as executives realized moving forward with any suspension would ignite severe fan revolt, sponsor boycotts, and league intervention. In a matter of minutes, the authority of the coaching staff was totally dismantled, leaving them exposed and completely powerless before an unforgiving national spotlight.
Horrible, unwatchable basketball. I said last night was in the top 3 hardest games to watch of the season. It was brutal. God dog, last night was boring. In fact, I said last night during the watch party that only the WNBA could have a battle between what's supposed to be 2 of their top 5 biggest stars, Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark. Only in the W could the WNBA figure out how to take a game like that, make it close for most of the game, and it be boring as hell. That's some W shit. That happens a lot in this league. A lot in this league. Vanderbilt fever. Caitlin quite literally got tackled. Stephanie White just sits there with her arms crossed, sniffing and twitching. Congratulations, Stephanie Weatherspoon. Aw, damn. Shout out Teresa Weatherspoon. Whoa. Lethargic.
The final devastating blow came directly from Caitlin Clark herself, discarding all diplomacy after discovering the disciplinary plot against her. Refusing prepackaged PR statements or agent mediation, Clark looked straight down the camera lens and issued an uncompromising ice-cold ultimatum. She came to elevate the game and win championships. But when leadership prioritizes internal politics over execution while attempting to scapegoat her for a broken system, they are standing in the wrong arena. It was an absolute masterclass in dominance on live television, asserting complete control over the narrative, exposing the flawed leadership dynamic, and dropping the microphone on an era of front office chaos with unmatched authority.
And look right.
Watch Caitlin. Watch Caitlin. Look, it's 1, 2, 3 defenders. Look, 1, 2, 3. You fucking idiots. Y'all are idiots. Watch this. KK, there you go. Bah! Hey, Caitlin, look at that. Look at that. You idiots. Idiots. Hold on. There's more. There's more. Oh, man. DJ Curry high fives her block. Did replay show. She got all hands on Caitlin Clark. So this was Enes Kanter's situation with Natasha Cloud during the game.
And right before the break, this was the scene inside Wintrust Arena.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at her. She forgot she was at a game. She forgot she was at a basketball game. Look at her. Look at her. You talk all that stuff on the internet.
Caitlin Clark didn't shout or resort to cheap dramatics. She weaponized cold, hard facts to dismantle the hidden agenda, using the phrase "the film does not lie" to force everyone's attention directly back onto the game tape and presenting ownership with an undeniable ultimatum. Back the future of the league or claim to failed leadership. The internal fallout was instantaneous and devastating. The locker room completely fractured. Former allies quickly distanced themselves from the escalating PR disaster, and reports indicate front office executives are actively finalizing exit paperwork. Between Breanna Stewart's unfiltered national critique and Clark's masterclass in holding authority accountable, the narrative has completely collapsed, sealing an irreversible turning point where ego-driven sabotage met its absolute match.
Share the channel, hit the bell notification, hype the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Let's get right into things, man. Jose Fernandez. You're going to hear him talk about the game plan for Caitlin Clark and what they were looking to do and what they only had to do a few times because there was no pick and rolls for Caitlin Clark. They didn't run an off-ball play for her until the third quarter. Stephanie White's game plan was, let's get Kelsey Mitchell the ball and get her as many points as we can, as often as we can. That was her whole game plan. She sucks as a coach. Jose Fernandez knows it. Take a listen.
Talk about the defense you guys played on Caitlin Clark today. You had her 4 of 15 shooting.
Well, we wanted to get it out of her hands. You know, in any pick and roll situation in the middle of the floor, she's so good. So if it was going to be...
We wanted
Now, I want to hear from every single one of you. Sound off aggressively in the comments right now on whether the front office must make an immediate coaching change, your raw reactions to Brianna Stewart's explosive intervention, and how lethal Caitlin Clark's final ultimatum truly was. The entire basketball world is watching how the fans respond. So make your voices heard down below, smash that like button, and subscribe to Clark Fever Hoops with all notifications turned on, because the second the official termination breaking news drops, we are going live immediately. To break down every single detail, Caitlin Clark didn't shout or resort to cheap dramatics. She weaponized cold hard facts to dismantle the hidden agenda, using the phrase "the film does not lie" to force everyone's attention directly back onto the game tape and presenting ownership with an undeniable ultimatum. Back the future of the league or claim to failed leadership. The internal fallout was instantaneous and devastating. The locker room completely fractured. Former allies quickly distanced themselves from the escalating PR disaster, and reports indicate front office executives are actively finalizing exit paperwork. Between Brianna Stewart's unfiltered national critique and Clark's masterclass in holding authority accountable, the narrative has completely collapsed, sealing an irreversible turning point where ego-driven sabotage met its absolute match. Fans packed the arena expecting high-octane magic, but they were subjected to a sluggish, outdated offensive disaster that took the ball entirely out of Caitlin Clark's hands while refusing to counter relentless double teams. The resulting blowout ignited fierce boos across the stadium and set social media ablaze with immediate demands for coaching changes. Backed into a corner and facing intense national criticism, the coaching staff allegedly attempted an aggressive internal scapegoat play, confronting management behind closed doors to demand a disciplinary suspension against Clark for insubordination. But attempting to silence the league's biggest draw backfired instantaneously. Front office panic collided with massive league-wide outrage, completely dismantling the narrative and turning this tactical failure into an uncontrollable franchise crisis. Caitlin Clark didn't shout or resort to cheap dramatics. She weaponized cold hard facts to dismantle the hidden agenda, using the phrase "the film does not lie" to force everyone's attention directly back onto the game tape and presenting ownership with an undeniable ultimatum. Back the future of the league or claim to failed leadership. The internal fallout was instantaneous and devastating. The locker room completely fractured. Former allies quickly distanced themselves from the escalating PR disaster, and reports indicate front office executives are actively finalizing exit paperwork. Between Brianna Stewart's unfiltered national critique and Clark's masterclass in holding authority accountable, the narrative has completely collapsed, sealing an irreversible turning point where ego-driven sabotage met its absolute match.